Yes, do you believe what happened Sunday? I, I mean, I thought that last play, I thought the Bears were going. Oh, how you doing, everybody? You are looking at the Leonardo 20th Anniversary Edition MD-82 in classic PSA livery. I am CJ. I'm your classic jet sim pilot, and we are getting back in the MD-82. Just a wonderful airplane, one of my favorites in the sim. Doing a flight today from Burbank, California, up to Sacramento. Got some nice low IFR going on in Sacramento. We'll look at the weather here in a second, but we're gonna take the MD-80 up to Sacramento today out of Burbank, a real-world route flown by PSA in the MD-82, and just doing a quick walk around so y'all can take a look at the livery. It's looking good, looking good, and got some exciting news. I am recently been appointed to the beta test team of the Maddog. So here we are in a beta version. Some interesting new features we're trying out, and because it is not a release version, if you see some things that don't look quite right or certain features, they may or may not make their way to the final release, all depending on what we discover during our testing. But I'm excited to be part of the Leonardo team as a beta tester. I think they make a quality product. And you know, you don't realize just how active developers are until you become part of the beta team. It's there's a lot more that goes on behind the scenes than most people think, right? So I have a newfound appreciation, and I'm sure all the other quality developers are just as busy and hopefully just as dedicated as the Leonardo team is to this MD-80. So we are over at Gate 1, which today are Southwest gates. But let's head up and get the show on the road. I said get the show on the road. Here we go. All right. Excuse me. Let's get going here. We've got, as you saw, we have the stairs out. We got everything loaded. Let's get the airplane fired up. We got the fuel switches off. Throttles are closed. Speed brakes are down. Flaps are up. Gear handle is down. It's been a minute since I've flown the Maddog. Been spending a lot of time in the MD-11, but the call of the Maddog is just too hard to resist. All right, let's get that external power going.
Autopilot. Autopilot.
GPU is on bus. We'll get the galley power on because I need some coffee. Lights are on. And we'll let the airplane come to life here for just a second. While we're doing it, let's check that weather. See what we are in for. Burbank to Sacramento, January 26. We're scheduled to leave here in about 35 minutes. Weather here at Burbank, 10 miles clear, 26 -3. Nice day. 3003 on the altimeter. We just got this, so I'm sure it hasn't changed a whole lot, but we will certainly check it out. 3003. Set left, center, right. Yeah, 230. So we'll be taking off to the west, runway 28, I think it is. I do believe. Sacramento. 7 miles, 400 overcast, temperature 8, dew point 8, 3014. And very light winds out of the northeast, so we'll be landing to the north. And forecast says it's gonna go down. On the 20th, that's today from 1900. 20th at 21:53. So that is, right? That's just, yeah, 30 minutes ago. But variable at 4 knots, variable at 5 knots. So the visibility was coming up. So, and it might even be. No, that's the 21st. So we should be in this range here. 5 knots, 2 miles, mist, half mile in fog, 200 to 1,000 broken. So it's gonna be spicy, but ain't nothing we ain't ready to deal with. So let's go to menu. Let's check. Let's get the airplane everything initialized and ready to go. Init data. We'll request it. Let's use the EFB here, since we can't pull the other EFB over. We are PSA 1569. We'll go to our weight and balance. Our trip fuel today, 7,600 pounds, 7622, with a taxi fuel of 400. And a block fuel today out of Burbank of 19,400 pounds. And runway 28. Or 26. Performance maximum takeoff weight is 130.3. Which is yeah, we're sort of limited. 26, 5801, 130.3. What happened to our pre-flight here? I think you can throw that in here. No? There we go. Send it. Return. And we'll request our flight plan. We'll go back to our received messages. And we get our initial. Our takeoff weight is 127.6, so we are below our runway max takeoff weight, so that's good. We are in an MD-82 JT-80 217s, 22 January 26, so we are good to go with the database. We've got our GNS, which is our GPS, giving us a good position, and we're KBUR. We are at gate 1. It's not in the database, but that's fine. Burbank's at 3412, 1821. Yeah, so position checks. We are taking on I just said it and I've already forgotten it. £19,400 of fuel, so let's go ahead and request that and get the refueling started while we do our pre-flight. Request refueling.
Is on its way. Please don't load aircraft until the fuel truck arrives and ask to do.
1819, so we're good. Just a little bit in the center tank. In fact, it's kind of warm. Go ahead and open that. We'll get the APU going to cool down the cabin here in just a few minutes. Running chase plane today.
Fire left engine. Fire right engine. Fire left engine.
Good fire test.
Fuel truck is in position.
Norm.
Please
We'll
don't
test
load
it.
aircraft until the fuel truck arrives
The
and ask
CVR,
to
look for
leave.
the light.
Please use your airplane fuel system to
There
set
it
desired
is.
fuel
The
quantity.
IDGs are closed and guarded.
Super Tankers 7440 Tango Heavies out of flight level 368 down to 3,500 for Santa Maria RNAV 30 com.
Off bus, on bus, galleys on, AC and DC bus ties are on auto, start pumps off, fuel heats off, ignition's off, starters are off, all the fuel pumps are off, which is fine for now. Emergency lights will go to armed. No smoking sign is on, seatbelt sign is off. Make sure we've got current running through all the pitot and probe heat. Leave it on captain. All the anti-ice is off except for the windshield. We'll turn that on. And engine anti-ice is off. We'll come back up here to the APU panel. All the switches are off. And we are ready to go. Norm off. We'll do the quick test of the GPS.
Light slope. Pull up.
We got the lights.
Terrain. Pull up.
We got the Egypt was here testing. Very good.
Headwind, shear.
Wind shear
headwind,
light.
Shear, headwind.
Headwind shear. Wind shear on the FMA. Tailwind shear light. Red versus yellow. So we're good to go. I don't know if you saw the flight I had the other day. Anti-skid, all 4 lights come on. Where I actually got a tailwind shear. Had to abort the takeoff.
Stall.
I'd never seen that in the sim before. That was pretty fun.
Stall. Overspeed.
Logo light we don't need. We know we got an ACARS message. Yaw damp light. There it is. Mach trim computer light. There it is. Ice FOD. 4 lights. There they are. Off, everything off. And the bleed panel, we're good to go. Cabin, it's about 25. Little warm, not bad. Okay. Sacramento. $27 feet. And 3013 was the altimeter, I believe. We will double check that. Yep. Oh, we're not using 2.6. What are we using? Is it the south runway? 8 and 15. Huh. Runway 8. Alright, so what's the runway 15? Takeoff weight. Because that's what I'll want. I don't want a 7-knot tailwind. Oh, we're better. Yeah, no, that's right. So 139.5. So we are fine with that. I guess, come to think of it, I've never used 2.6. So here at Burbank, it's always the 8s. So that's yeah, that's fine with me. 139.5. Excellent. So we got that all set. Pressurization panel set. Ram airs off. Wipers off. We got good lights there. Love the light test on the Maddog. Good stuff there. Since we're going to fire up soon, I'll go ahead and open those. Did I move the trim? I did. Didn't mean to. One second, chat. All right, coming across the top. We'll do the Autoland test. Today it's important because we have some pretty low IFR. Runway 15. .155, so we'll set it on the course. 250 goes in the speed window. 155 goes in the heading. And we are going to, I didn't even check altitude. So concerned with the weather. Where are we going? 340. And 155 there. We would do our mic test. Set up the radio panel. We're in our normal source. We'll turn up some panel lights just because. Data, airport, 10 degrees. We'll set our bugs here in a minute when we do our performance calculations. Everything else looks normal. Hold your ears. Gets loud. See what I mean? .04, 12 degrees, we're good. Test A, test B. Today is a B day. And our zero fuel weight, according to our release, 108.6. 108.6. Excellent.
Landing gear.
Test the radar. Turn it off. Trim up. Trim down. Trim cutout. Works. Speed brakes are down. Throttles. Good range of motion.
Flat. Stabilizer. Brake. Butt flap.
Excellent. Flaps are up. And they've dropped down a little bit, so we'll have to tell folks what we're doing before we pressurize the system. All right, we did get a squawk code. We are in Batson today, but there's no ATC right now, so 1057. And we are PSA 1569. Enter that. We want to be above, and we'll leave our range down. We'll turn that on. We want 121.5 on number 2 and 122.8. And we want CTAF on number 1. CTAF for BUR is 18.7. So that's what we'll put in. Amazing how that works. 18.7. There we go. It's in 1. No ADFs needed. We'll turn up some panel lights here and get us some panel lights here as well. The pneumatic crossfeed valves are open. Trims are at 0. And auto brake is switched off for now. Let's go ahead and board up. Request boarding.
Requested.
No. Okay. Let's load in our flight plan. Our route today, BURKSMF. I'm using the WinWing PFP3 as well as the PAP3. There's some profiles that allow us to do that through MobiFlight. Castro, Nure, where's the route? Castro, Nure, and then right into the Suitor 4. Oh, we're going to load people in the back? All right, cockpit to ground. Yeah, we're going to pressurize hydraulics. Everything clear? Yep, we're clear. Go ahead. There it comes.
Passengers boarding started.
Cool. Love to see the boarding through the tail. Probably not all that realistic, especially at an airport with such tight quarters as Burbank. And with people coming out from the terminal right there, I just have them all come through there. I guess I could have changed that, but is what it is. So let's get back to inputting our flight plan so we're ready to go when they are. We got the correct overall route in. We are going to plan on the Orsos 2, so we'll do that. Depart and arrival. Runway 15, Orsos 2 to Castro. Enter. Let's make sure sim brief. Orsos 2 Castro. We'll switch the runway to 15, just so it's not screaming at us like that. And then at Sacramento, it's the Suitor 4, Nure. And we're going to plan on the ILS runway 17 right. Is that really what they're running? ATIS, VATSIM. Kind of an incomplete ATIS, but yeah. We got our departure in there. Go back to the index. Arrival. ILS 17 right. ILS 17 right final. ILS 17 right, and we're coming in on the Suitor 4 Nure. Enter. So now we shall go to plan mode. Go to legs. Let's just make sure we got it in correctly. Nure. Here we go. Vectors out to tiller, right? Because the departure off of 15 is a right turn to 210. And then vectors to tiller above 8, Orsos above 9, and out to Castro. There's the turn, tiller, Orsos, Hey Joe, Castro, and now we're on the arrival. Or New Ray's the arrival, sorry. Castro's the end of the departure. Goes right to New Ray from there. New Ray, Kayla at above 280. Suitor. New Ray, Kayla above 280. Suitor between 240 and 260. Yep. Fools at 210. Yep. Glid at below 190. Yep. Wraps below 170. Down to 160 and 208 knots. Penn. I'm sorry, Wraps was below 170. 17,000. Penen. 16 and 12. Amador, 9,000. Nugget, between 7 and 9. Channel, 5,000. And Ovum, yep. Alright, we are good to go. Index, perf. Our cruise altitude today is 340. Our cruise wind, .278 at 34. So our average. Our ISA deviation is +3. Transition altitude of 18,000 feet. Our scheduled fuel is 19,400. Are they still fueling, or is that all we're getting? 19.4. Normal burn schedule. Our zero fuel weight, 108.6. Alternate plus final reserve is 9.7. And we're good to go. Takeoff. This is something fun they're working on with the Maddog as well. It's an autofill. So instead of having to type everything in, it now pulls the weather in on the runway. Except we're not using 26, we're using 15. Burbank dry, 21887, 26 degrees. Oh, there's a Southwest jet taxiing behind us. He may have just pushed back, actually. And 27.5. Is that really our takeoff weight? I thought we were a little heavier than that, no? 1086. Return. Crew message. These are our preliminary weights. We don't have the final load sheet quite yet. 127.6. So we'll do it. Calculate it out. Flap 13, cell of 39. Flap 13. Cell. We'll flex it. 39. Art switch. Comes off. And we're looking at speeds of 129, 133, 142. He's on 18.7. Haven't heard him. Okay. We are good to go. We can lose this. Our new ACARS message came in. Let's double check. Our final load sheet. 0 fuel weight 1088. And our takeoff weight will be 127.8. It shouldn't make a difference. $13, $39, $29, $34, $43. Yep, we're within a knot. But we'll put it in 134, 143. Excellent. Let's do our before. Start checklist, parking brakes on, oxygen's checked, circuit breakers are checked. Fuel boost pumps. You know what? Let's go ahead and we'll get them on, and then we shall start that APU. APU's coming online. Fuel boost pumps, our mains are on, centers are off, emergency lights are on, probe heat's on captain, windshield anti-ice is on. Pressurization, auto, and set. Flight guidance panel is set and checked. 250 knots. I didn't do the auto land on the left side. 155, runway heading up to 340. We got it. Assume flight instruments, switches, and bugs. Set and cross-checked. 29, 34, 43. 29, 43. We're good. Assume temperature switch is set. Fuel quantity distribution 19,000. Dispatch 400. Onboard 19,250. It's acceptable and balanced. FMS status inserted and verified. Transponder, we can go to TARA and is set. Spoiler lever retracted. Takeoff warnings checked. Throttles are closed. Fuel levers off. Fuel crossfeed lever is off. Flats and slaps up and retracted. Aileron rudder trim 00. Flight attendant briefing is complete. We'll go ahead and get the seatbelt sign on. ACARS fuel APU hours is logged. Logbook and flight forms are checked. Hydraulic pumps on. Doors and windows I'm going to be naughty and start with the window open. Lights are on, throttles are closed, spoiler lever, whoops, what am I doing? Flight deck doors closed. Yep, flight attendant closed it. And the EFP.
United 1097 is on 46, special runway 15 approach, Burbank.
We'll go to flight mode.
Burbank traffic Southwest 787 taking off runway 8, Burbank.
Ooh. Taking off runway 8. Alright, before start checklist is complete. How are we doing with our pushback? Did they come over? Oh, you know what I need to do? I always forget this in the Mad Dog, and shame on me. APU is on bus. External power is off bus. Let's get rid of the GPU. Dismiss it. Dismiss the GPU. Nope. Here we go. Now I think we're ready.
Hello, Captain. We are ready for pushback.
Interesting, we got American 125 on short final to 8, and a United on a right base to 1-5. I think the American's going to beat them. That tug ain't going to fit.
Locking gear.
Burbank traffic, PSA 1569. We're going to be pushing back gate 1. Nose right.
Release parking brakes, please. Commencing push. All engines clear. Start at will.
Alright, the bleeds are on. Galley power's off. System B. Oh, what are we doing? Start valves open. Fuel flow. Light off. Oil pressure. Here's a switch over. There's rollback. Let's turn 2. Starter valves open.
Please set parking brakes.
Burbank traffic, United 1097 on 5 and runway 15 at Burbank.
Unlocking gear.
Fuel. Oil pressure. Watching for that hot start. There's the rollback. Good start. Ignition comes off. Bleed comes off. APU comes off the bus. Shut down the APU. Thank you. We shall
Tow truck disconnected.
arm.
Bypass pin removed. Left is clear. Right is clear.
And 6. Laps 13 for takeoff. There's that plane on final to 8. And there's another plane on final to 1-5. At the exact same time. Let's watch this unfold. Whoops. Here's the plane on final to 8. And 1-5 is on the ground, right there. Well, this is exciting. Wow. After start checklist, engine anti-ice is off. Air conditioning is set. Flaps.
Burbank traffic United 1097 crossing runway 8.
Are set.
Going off to runway 2.
Spoilers armed. Auto brake. Takeoff and armed. I got so excited watching that, I forgot to finish my flows. And flight controls are checked. Left, right, full up, full down. Here's the power. Full rudder left and right. And I don't know what this American's doing. Burbank traffic, PSA 1569. We're going to taxi on runway 15 via taxi lane A and then out Alpha. Is this American even on?
Burbank traffic United 1097 PFR runway Burbank.
No, it should be working. Should be working. $18.7. Radio. Oh, it's working. Here we go. Best view in baseball. Burbank PSA 1569 crossing runway 8 at Alpha. We're flying today as PSA under VAAL. Encourage you all to check out VAAL. It's part of the Fusion Virtual Airline Alliance. Brings you Virtual, United, brings you V-Spirit. My favorite is the Piedmont Virtual Airlines and Historical Group, as well as Virtual FedEx, and brand new is Virtual Alaska, VASA. Some exciting MD-80 flying to be done up there for sure. And that was my phone dropping. And I need it because my room's dark and I can't see my checklist, so I gotta turn on my light here in a minute. Before takeoff data and bugs set and check 29, 34, 43. Runway 15, power, we are reduced to 39, ART switch is off. We got takeoff mode, toga, set, stab trim is, not quite set. We're almost 0.8, 0.6, I mean, right there. Stab trim is set, spoiler levers armed, ABS, takeoff and armed, APU is off, pneumatic crossfeeds are closed. This is why you have 2 crew. Crossfeeds are closed, hydraulic system checked high and on, anti-ice is off, packs are on, takeoff briefing completed, unnecessary lights are checked. We'll get the ignition closer to the end of the runway and lights. Before takeoff checklist, almost complete. Yeah, that American that came in wasn't even on the, was not on CTAF. And I also didn't hear him on Unicom either. All right, runway 15, be a right turn to heading 210. Must be uphill a little bit. Whoops, 210, yep. Yep, right turn to 210. So we'll do that immediately as once we cross 200 feet, or 400 feet. We got our 1,000-foot marker there. We'll look for 400 feet on the radar altimeter. 400 feet AGL. And we'll make that right turn to 210. Thousand feet, we'll bring the nose down to accelerate half rate. We'll go to half rate, and that'll bring the nose down. We'll accelerate, we'll climb power. We'll accelerate to 250 knots and make like a shepherd and get the flock out of here. I never gave her the galley back. Alrighty. Lights, camera. Action. Burbank traffic, PSA 1569, departing runway 15. Be a right turn out to the north after departure, Burbank. Landing lights coming on. And we will start the timer here. Just a second. Power's coming up. Takeoff. Looking for 1.91. Power is set. Clamp. 80. V1. Rotate. Positive rate. Gear up. $210. 1,000 feet. Down to half rate. There's 210 degrees. Flaps up. Go to VNAV now. Slats retract. Direct.
LA traffic Delta 997 heavy on
Tiller.
final again for 2.5 mile final.
Go to nav.
Service 12 Echo, taxiing to runway 25 right. Holding point is Bravo. Traffic.
We'll do the after takeoff checklist once I'm situated on my direct. Otherwise, we'd be running it now that the slats are up. But I'm a little busy. I'm hand flying the departure. Love that smile. One really important thing about flying, especially when you're engaging the autopilot, is you want the plane trimmed before you engage the autopilot, because you don't want the autopilot to kick off. So I'm more or less trimmed now. I can engage the autopilot. And I need to be above 8,000 feet at the first waypoint. In the meantime, we can do the after takeoff checklist and flow. Flaps are up, gear is up.
Thank you very much.
All right, after takeoff, gear is up, no lights, spoiler lever. Oop, I didn't disarm it. Spoiler lever is disarmed, auto brake is off, disarmed, flat slats up, retracted, no lights. Engine ignition is off, pressurization is checked.
I got you. Yeah, we're going to take the left
We
here.
made
We're
our
going
restriction
to
there, so we're in good
we should
shape.
be clear.
And APU is off. We're good to 10,000 feet, which is coming up here real quick. There's our 10 checks. Through 10,000. Fuel system is checked. Center pumps are on. Annunciator panels checked. Hydraulic pumps. Sorry about that. Hydraulic pumps. Off. Low. Pressurization, air conditioning is checked, and the sterile flight deck chime has taken place.
Right turn kilo off of,
All right, off we go.
Bravo, to Bradley.
So needless to say, the sounds are greatly improved in this edition of the Mad Dog. But I am really looking forward to the immersive audio pack, which is being worked on now, and the developer of it is a perfectionist, so that should be really nice once it's out. So we can still do our climb speed, 300 knots, and we're working our way up to 34,000 feet. Life is good. Life is good. Like to keep that heading bug synced up with the direction we're going. Love that smile. I tell you what, we've got some amazing airplanes in the sim right now. It is such a great time to be flight simming. There is no doubt about it. We've already used up our center fuel. That is a bug that occurs in chase plane. Every so often, something bounces you around as if you're running over something. Not sure what the reason is. All right, coming up on 180. (2992, 2992). That's the last part of our climb checklist. And we'll double check our performance. We're going to 340. At 340, we are restricted to, we're about like 4 degrees above standard, if I remember. 133.7, and we are plenty under that weight, so we are in good shape. And if we're at 125,000 pounds, if we encounter moderate turbulence, we need to go down to 320. So we'll just keep that in mind in case we encounter significant turbulence. the reason why you have to come down in case of turbulence is because at 340, if you're at 133,000 pounds, that gives you a 1.3 buffet margin. So you can have up to 1.3 Gs on the airframe before you'll hit stall buffet. However, if you're at moderate turbulence or greater, you want 1.5 G buffet margin protection. And at these weights, 134,000 or 125,000 pounds, you're somewhere between 32 and 33,000 feet. So we'll call it 32 to be safe, just in case. But you want to make sure you have enough performance. You don't want to be nibbling at the stall buffet. Right? That's the bottom end of what's called the coffin corner. And that's at Mach 0.76, by the way. So at 1.5 Gs, at 0.76 Mach, you want that extra padding, that extra protection in case you're in a moderate turbulence. So that's why that weight limit applies. We shall reset our bug. In fact, we can reset it. Just go ahead and do it now for the ILS into Sacramento. Which is 225 feet. It is 111.1. Might as well get set up. It's not a very long flight. And 168 degrees. Oops, I can do that here. 68. 68. Alright, now that we're above 180, we can also turn off our runway lights, our wing lights. We don't have the logo light on. See? I clicked the range button, so somehow that's triggering that weirdness with the chase plane. Not sure what's doing it. It's not a key click. But anyway, I still enjoy chase plane, especially with the flyby. The weather's coming up a little bit. That's a bummer. 8 miles, 500 broken. I was hoping it was going to be really low still. Well, we'll see. As the sun goes down, there's a chance it'll come back down as the sun gets a little lower in the sky. Alrighty. Well, as we reach our cruise altitude, we'll level off, work our way up to Sacramento, and we will rejoin the flight once we're nearing our top of descent and preparing for our ILS into the airport. So we will catch up with you in a little bit. We are back. We're approaching the top of the descent. We are on the Suter arrival. We're inside of Newray, and looks like we are about 35 miles from Kaela. And our top of descent is about 20 miles out, as you can see. So there's a couple ways to approach how to handle top of descent and what to do with the altitude box, right? I'm gonna let the VNAV fly the approach, which is what most of you will probably do. So I'm gonna set in the bottom, which is 4,000 feet. Alternatively, you could set the lower restrictions all the way down if you want. And I do that a lot too. It helps me keep my head in the game, tracking where we're at. Because the important thing is, if you're going to do this, where you dial in 4,000 feet, you absolutely have to keep very close tabs on how the descent is going. The VNAV in the Maddog sometimes has issues, as did a lot of these relatively early VNAV systems. They weren't perfect. So it's still up to us as the pilot in command, right, to keep track of the progress of the descent and ensure that we're meeting all restrictions. So I went ahead and spun in 4,000. When we get much closer to the top of the descent here, you'll see the vertical path, vertical deviation indicator, vertical path indicator come on screen. And that will be a very good clue to us that we're about to begin our descent. Prior to
traffic, start check 240, about 4 miles out, runway 8, Burbank.
the CTAF, we could go on 22.8 here, 21.5. CTAF for Sacramento is 25.7. And for those of you who don't know, that don't fly in America a lot possibly, CTAF stands for Common Traffic Advisory Frequency. And in the real world, it's designated on the instrument chart it would be here, and it would say CTAF. Now, I'll bet you that the Sacramento Tower is open 24 hours a day, which is why it doesn't say that. It has the CTAF label. But there are at many airports, the tower is not open 24 hours a day. So it will usually designate what the CTAF frequency is when the tower is closed. And that is typically the tower frequency. And if there are multiple frequencies, it's one of them. So what VATSIM has done for the past couple years, and here we start our descent. What VATSIM has done is when the tower's closed, they've designated a CTAF frequency for most airports in the U.S. And Mexico, I've seen, Caribbean, I believe. But anyway, rather than everybody on 122.8, because that frequency can get very busy, which is why they did that. So down we go. We're a little below profile. Our descent is set up. What was our cruise? Was it 7.5? I don't think there was a speed restriction on the arrival. There is not, so we'll just let it descend as it wants at Mach 7.5. Normally I'll throw in whatever our cruise Mach is and 290 knots. So at the changeover it'll stick to 290. But I just left it as it is for today. No big deal. You know what else I didn't do? I didn't put in the descent winds, which can lead to more inaccuracy. Although we have a headwind today, so if anything, we'll be a little low. So we want to make sure we stay above 280 till we get to Kayla. And our descent checklist, seatbelt sign is, go ahead and flip it on. Landing data is prepped. We will use the standard landing assessment, so no need to compute data. The runway's plenty long enough. It's not contaminated, and no tailwind, so we're in good shape. Engine sync we can turn off. Fuel boost pumps are as required. The mains are on. Center pumps are off. Anti-ice is off. Windshield, anti-fog. We're coming down into some pretty humid air, so I'm going to go ahead and turn the anti-fog on. Although I don't believe that's simulated. I've never seen it in the sim. And Egypt was... We can go ahead and turn it on just to keep track of what's going on. So our descent check is complete to the line. At flight level 180, we'll do the next batch of items. All right, at Suitor, we want to be between 260 and 240. Suitor also has a speed restriction of 280 knots. There's our McDo message looking for more drag because we're getting a little fast. I'll bring the spoiler out a little bit. See his little spoiler shake. Get back to our 280. Because that's the speed we want to be at Suitor, and that's what the bug is commanding. And we want to be above 240. So notice the plane is starting to shallow. It's descend a little bit. That's a good sign. If it wasn't doing that, I would be concerned. And I would probably quickly spin in 240. But it's doing what we expect it to do. Alright, that's the thing. You never want to be the guy that is telling ATC when they call you on some sort of deviation saying that the autopilot is commanding the airplane, not the pilot. So try to stay ahead of it. Try to anticipate what's going to happen next. So our next crossing restriction is 210 at Fools. Just check out what the weather's doing. Still IFR. 500 broken. 3012 on the altimeter. So we got 1,000 to go, about 30 seconds to go, and we're still 3 miles away. And we're doing 6 miles a minute, so that's pretty good. We're going to be right at about 210. Next crossing restriction is glad below 190. Looks like it's not going to be a problem. Got a minute and a half. We're 7 miles, so a little more than a minute. So our rate of descent's increasing a little bit, so we're in good shape. We're doing a little less than 6 miles a minute, and we're 6 miles away, and we've got a minute to go. So see how we're keeping track? Never losing sight of what we got to do next. Once you're in the descent phase, there's always something to think about. The most important thing is the next thing. So here we are, 190. We just need to be below it. Crossing Glad. Glads. Wraps below 17. Let's spin in the altitude because it's going to steepen our descent path a little bit. Coming through 18, lights, wing lights, runway turnoff lights can come on. We'll ping him in the back. Hydraulic pumps, come on. And we'll go around on the TRP. 18,000 foot checks, exterior lights are on. TRP select, go around. Hydraulic system high, on, and checked. Stereo chime accomplished. Landing PA accomplished. Descent check complete. The forward landing checklist is next. Below 17 it wraps. We are going to weigh approximately should have 12,700 pounds of fuel, so that's about 500 pounds left. So 121.5. So there we go. 138 will be our threshold. So 143 will be our ref. Flaps 28. Wants drag, we'll give it to it. Anytime you apply spoilers, kind of leave your hand on the spoiler handle so you don't forget about them. Looks like we're back on path. We're still a hair fast. Penen, below 16, above 12. See that? Vertical speed mode. We busted the 12. I was doing the doing the views instead of looking at what we were doing. So let's correct. Using the vertical speed wheel. After Penang is Amador at 9. Like I said, you gotta keep your eye on it. All right, there's 12,000 feet. All told, we got 9,000 armed. We'll start our descent. And we need to slow down 250 knots. Amador at 9. We'll use our vertical speed wheel to hit 9 right about Amador. I'm at 1,200 foot per minute descent, is what I have set in the window. And that puts the banana a little bit past, so we'll go to 13, 14. Looks like that's about it. Maybe a little too much. Coming up on 10. There's 250 knots. Right about 10,200 feet. Perfect. Ten 10,000 feet. Landing lights come on. Thousand to go. Our next crossing restriction is Nugget between 9 and 7. Well, we're already at the 9 part. If we want to send 1,000 feet a minute, that means 2 minutes out. All told, a mile to Amador. All right. So, at 0000, we'll cross the next waypoint. So right at the top of the hour, we're 2 minutes away. Oh, nope, take it back. At 001 and a half. So at 9 and a half, we want to start down. At 23:59. Let's start down now. You can always be a little early. 8,000, or 7,000 is our altitude at Nugget, bottom altitude. Ah, the ETA corrected itself. Oh well. We'll be down a little early, no big deal. In fact, I could shallow it out. 500 feet a minute. I mean, we got to be between 7 and 9, so it's no big deal to be a little long. All right, 25.7. Am I on CTAF? I am not. We're about 25 south. Capital traffic, PSA 1569, 25 southeast. We're on the Suter arrival. We'll be setting up for the ILS 17 right. And then once we're past Nugget, we can begin our descent to 4,000, but we just need to be above 5 at channel. Descending into the low overcast. We should go into alt cap here in just a second. Or alt hold. We'll level off at 7, and then after we pass Nugget, we'll begin our descent to 4,000 feet. In fact, I could spit in for now. It'll still level at 7. Because it's in alt hold mode. Half mile to Nugget. And we'll begin our descent to 4,000 feet. Actually, we want to make sure we don't get below 5. I've got 5 set. And notice how the banana is past channel. So that's good. And then we'll continue on down to 4. And then we also need to be at 210 knots and 4,000 feet at Ovami. Ovami. Ovami? Must be Ovami. All right, we can go to 4. And I want to level off at 4 a little before Ovami. so that I can slow down to 210 knots. Anti-ice is not a consideration. Temperature's high. I'm going to bump up our descent rate just a hair. And I'm going to begin our slowdown to 210 knots since we're in a descent as well. Notice how it says alpha speed. Plane wants some lift devices, so we'll extend the slats. Slats are extended. Our overcast broke up. Wah. Low limit on the FMS tells us that the auto throttles are at their lowest limit. I could pull them back a little bit more. Like that. It keeps them just above the gear warning. But if I want to take out a little more power, I can. Alright, now the auto throttles are re-engaged, taking us to 210 knots. And we knew we were going to need spoilers because we also had our min clean speed bugged. Alright, we are past Ovmi. Track 299 is what we want. We can switch over to the ILS chart. (111.1) ISM. We've got DME. We want to go down to FAPN is 1800 or above. We can go to 2. We're not in a hurry. We want to give ourselves a nice stable final. We should see the glide slope needle climb up a little bit. We want it to be above us for the intercept. It kind of gives it like, so that's something to think about too, right? So I wouldn't want to turn base here this close because I risk being above the glide slope, even though I am descending. So it's just all part of situational awareness. So notice now it's at our level, which means I can probably turn base. I'm going to slow us to 170, which means I have to bring the flaps out. Did I put in 23? I did. And we can turn base. Heading select. 170, so about 80. Capital traffic, PSA 1569 on a 13 mile right base, runway 17 right. See the nav display is drawing us a continuous line to Fabian. When we get a little closer, we'll slope a little more. And we'll take up an intercept heading of about 138. $130, 138's about here. $1,000 to go.
2,500.
Check. Let's go to 138. Let's go into approach mode. ILS is armed. 2,000 is armed.
Stabilizer motion.
Go to flaps 15. Slow it to 160. Low cap. Right on it. Nice job. We'll level at 2. $139 will be our flaps 28 ref. Glide slope's alive. One dot high, gear down. Left 28. Glide slope capture. Missed set missed approach altitude. It is set. Spoilers are armed. Auto brakes are on min. 4 landing checklist, please. Hydraulic pumps, high iron on, altimeter 3017, left and center. Flight instrument spugs are set and cross-check. Seatbelt sign is on, tail de-ice not needed. Gears down, 3 green, spoiler levers armed, auto brakes min, flats and slaps, 28, land, green light, enunciators checked. And bring the ignition on. Landing checklist complete. Well, it's kind of scuzzy, but I can see the Pappy. We're still less than 4 miles out. Capital traffic, PSA 1569, 4 mile final. Runway 17 right. One thing to keep in mind too, the localizer antenna is usually at the end of the runway, so that DME distance is to the end of the runway, or it should be. So when it says 5 miles, I mean, these are long runways too. We're probably more like a 3 mile final. In fact, you can see right here, we're not 4.5 miles, which is like up here, right? All right, my airplane. Autopilot's not disconnecting. All right. It's a little distracting.
300.
Getting a little low, correcting.
Light slope. Light slope. 200. 50, 40, 30, 20,
Where'd all the runway stripes go?
10,
Float City. Spoilers. Reversers are green. Alrighty, we have arrived. I wasn't sure how far down the runway was. I knew I landed long, but the scenery does not have the proper runway markings. Anyway, no harm, no foul in SimWorld. We will clear the active. Not sure why my not sure why the key bindings, switch bindings weren't working properly. I've got SPAD running. I wonder if it changed profiles on me. Alright, after landing checklist. Landing lights retracted, spoiler levers retracted, auto brake is off and disarmed, engine ignition is off, flats and slabs up, retracted, no lights. Radar, ooh, I didn't get that. Before I roast everybody. Radar is off. APU is coming online, pneumatic crossfeeds are open. Where are we going to park? Let's pick something easy. How about Bravo 21? I have no idea where PSA parked, and I think this terminal is very different from what it was then. B 21. Show me and activate. Yep. It's there on the corner. Oh no. GSX. No. Yes. Darn it. Ugh. I want to turn it the next right. Let's let Quado start again. APU should be ready to come on bus. There we are. For those of you keeping score at home, that was a 129 foot per minute landing. Let's try GSX again. Nope, still loading. Bravo. 21. No. Alaska, because it's cool. Alright. Turning right on Bravo 1. Going to Bravo 21. Should be off the left side of the nose once we pull in. Or the runway markings didn't load in. Because we got some questionable taxiway textures up here. I wonder if something's going on with my internet. Anyhow. Oops, sorry about that. Bravo 21 is right there. off the nose. Slow it up. You can shut down the right engine. Taxi light off. Look at that, Bravo 21. I feel like it's taking us way right of the center line. And wants us to park the MD-80 at that first line. So you know what? That's what we're gonna do. Bloop. Set the brake. Gives ourselves some bleed air. We've got it. Shut down the other engine. We'll let them up. And GSX, let's deboard.
Deboarding requested.
See if the jet bridge will reach. We'll also ask for a GPU. Here it comes. Will bring us out of flight mode, so therefore we can no actions necessary. So we should be good to go here. Oh, yeah, let's turn off the strobe. That way it'll open the doors. Yeah, all right. Parking brake set, seatbelt signs are off, APU is established. Fuel levers are off, anti-collision exterior lights are off. Fuel pumps are off. Emergency lights will leave armed since there's still people on the airplane. We can kill the probe heat. We can kill the anti-ice and the anti-fog. And the hydraulic pumps go to high and off. All right, folks. There we have it. PSA into Sacramento on kind of a gray, scuzzy day. Wasn't quite as low as I was hoping. But, hey, still worked out. Still worked out. Love it. Hope you enjoyed the flight today. Hope you enjoyed getting back in the Mad Dog. It's always a load of fun. Love spending time with this airplane. And we're becoming a McDonnell Douglas channel here, aren't we? More classic jets to come, I promise. Got some exciting things planned. Maybe do a little Fokker F-28 action in Australia. I'd like to get out the 146 again and do some mountain flying there. But just so many things to choose from and so many cool airplanes coming. So until then, I'm CJ. I am your Classic Jet Sim pilot. Keep the shiny side up.